Alright, so last time I had a few errors in there. Also, the video wasn't as clean as I wanted it. So, like I said, I want to get you guys good content, explain this deck well, because I see it all the time. People ask, what does Melffy even do? Or don't understand some of the value of it. So yeah, I just wanted to better explain that, and I'll also show you another combo. So this video might be a little bit longer, but we're gonna do it better. So that's the goal here. And as long as I don't knock the camera off of the thing I have it on, this should be good for today. So the main cards that are new, I mean, there's the God Mommy, which gets a Speller Trap to your hand, and there's also the Trap. But the main things I want to talk about, or some of the main things, are Nemesia. This is a new mystical beast monster. It basically makes your opponent choose if they want to special summon. I'll get to, in fact, no, I'll read its ability. Fuck it. If this card is normally special summoned, you can banish one face-up beast monster from your hand or field until the end phase. Then you special summon an earth monster from the deck or graveyard with equal or lower level than the monster's original level that was banished. Then your opponent can choose to summon one monster from their hand. I can only use that effect once per turn. Your opponent's monsters can... Your opponent monsters that can attack must attack the monster with the highest attack, their choice of time. So, pretty handy ability there. Now, next is Melffy Rabbies. If your opponent normal or special summons, during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can fusion summon one Melffy Fusion monster from the extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Melffy monster from your deck to your hand. Then if the monster you added was a normal, you can special summon any number of beast monsters from your hand. That is essentially a pendulum summon. So if you add a normal to your hand, you're going to pendulum summon. Okay? This add the 4 Melffy monsters, Melffy Footsteps. This add the 4 Melffy monsters from the deck to the hand. Then proceed to end phase. Also has the recursion effect. Sorry, just making sure I showed it proper. Its recursion effect, which will come in handy in the grind. If this card's in the graveyard, you can banish it, target 2 Melffy cards in your graveyard, add one of them to your hand, and if you do, place the other on the bottom of the deck. Very good recursion there. Add Melffy Joyful Surprise. If this card is fusion summoned, you can target an equal number of Melffy cards you control and cards your opponent controls. Return them to the hand. If your opponent normal or special summons a monster, or if an opponent's monster declares this one as an attack, I can target a beast monster in the graveyard, reduce the level by 2 of this card, and then special summon that monster. You can only use this effect of Melffy's once per turn. So, already, there's a cool little defense mechanism where in the grind, if they were trying to target the Melffy Joyful Surprise, they have 0 attack. So if they summoned or are going to attack, you could summon out this thing, which then is going to make it to where they have to target the highest attack. And that could very well be just a very little weak Melffy that you can then use to trigger its ability. But not only that, if this card is normal or special summoned. So the other thing you can do is after that, you can still use this ability to pull another monster out of your deck. And once again, see if you can goad your opponent into doing another trigger. Getting pretty dangerous, right? Alright. So, the first combo I was showing off was what I called the Melffy one-turn kill, right? You can't let them get an open attack. I'll be sure to add timestamps in the video. I'll probably record a message about timestamps and edit that in the front. That's what I'll do. Alright, just shuffling up for effect here. So, here is the proposed combo. Melffy Footsteps. Boom. You know, there was a meme with the last video with cross-out designator in my hand. I just don't want it, okay? I'm not a cheater. Okay. Okay. This hand, for a moment, I almost thought it was a brick. I drew Pinpoint Landing. Interesting card. Continuous spell. If exactly one monster is special summoned from the hand to your field, you can draw one card. You can only use this effect once per turn. During the end phase, if you did not draw by a card effect this turn, you send this card to the graveyard. So I play this. At the end of this turn, if I don't draw, I send it to the grave. But also, if you have not drawn a card by this effect this turn. So if my opponent ends and I have not fulfilled that, it'll also break. So we activate this, of course. Now, we run Rescue Rabbit. We run Rescue Rabbit because I'm also running two of the normal Rabbies. You should know Rescue Rabbit. And then we're holding two Melffy Footsteps. The point of this combo is I was showing you what if it was in your hand. So in this case, you play one. Well, first you activate Rabbit. You see if that's going to go off or not, if they're going to stop it. I wanted to show an example of it going off. You get those two. Overlay for a Melffy of the Forest, XYZ. Melffy of the Forest says you can detach one material, search your deck for a Melffy card, we're going to get Melffy Hide and Seek. Melffy Hide and Seek says the first time continuous spell. The first time each beast monster you control would be destroyed by a card effect. Each turn, it is not destroyed. You can target 3 beast monsters in your grave with different names, shuffle them in the deck, then draw one. You can only use this effect of Melffy Hide and Seek once per turn. So what I realized about the combo was I was trying to be too specific with showing you how I got to it, and the reality is I should just show you how it works, supposing things trigger. So that's what I'm going to do. Like, yes, there's negations, and there's ways to play around them. That's will probably come later on. For now, I just want to show what the combo is. Alright. So it proceeds to the end phase. During the end phase, I'm going to... They each summon in their own chain. So first I'm going to summon Melffy Caddy, Pinpoint Landing, draw one. Then I'm going to summon Melffy Wally. Then I'm going to summon Melffy Puppy. And then we're going to hold the Melffy Rabbies. There's no need to summon them. So, they go. They use their normal summon. If they use their normal summon, what you're going to do is chain blocking. So, you also want to free up space before you start trying to trigger off the Wally. So what you want to do is you want to activate Melffy Wally, Melffy Catty, Melffy Puppy last. Wally is chain blocked by Cat, Cat's chain blocked by Puppy. So, well, no. Wally blockchains Cat, you check for their response. Again, we're assuming they have no response. Then boom, Puppy. So you're going to get Wally off, guaranteed. Anyways, so let's say they had nothing. Puppy returns to the hand. Whoops. Puppy returns to the hand. Summons out a Calantosa. Cat returns to the hand. Add a card from the deck to our hand. We're going to choose to add Melffy Penny. Then Melffy Wally returns to the hand. Summon 2 Melffy monsters. There's still 2 names we haven't used. Melffy Pony, Melffy Finny. Calantosa will get to pop. And then you can chain block the pop with the negate of... Well, no, you can't chain block it there. It's their turn. They get to response, but if they do, if it was from the monster, you negate. If you don't have to use that ability, then you still have a negate stocked. He'll pop. So now let's say they go for the special summon. Oh, also... oh no, not yet. Hasn't happened yet. Pinpoint landing is about to happen. And we're going to chain block it. Because what's going to happen is their summon is over. They get their next move. They choose to special summon a monster. Or activate a card, right? Let's say they activate a spell card. No, let's say they special summon a monster. Everyone's running monsters. So in response to them summoning a monster, we're going to go chain link Melffy Penny and summon. And then we're going to chain block it with pinpoint landing. Their response, they have none. We're going to go ahead and trigger Melffy Finny. So, what happens? Melffy Finny comes back to the hand. We could have summoned Melffy Rabbies off of them special summoning. Still could. In fact, yeah. We're just going to summon this tuner. Card summoned out of my hand. Oh no, that's not. We're back going. Yeah, resolving. So Melffy Finny comes back, summons out Valeraphon, pinpoint landing, draw 1. Synchro summon with him using cards in my hand. We already used this thing, so we'll send it. Finny's gone. Boom. Synchro summon. And we're going to go for, let me see. Yeah, we'll go for Merry Melffys. So this gets a bounce. Yeah, it's still their turn. Now if they summon again, if they were to do that, we could then jump him back into the deck. Special summon out Joyous Melffys. Add the pony to our hand, which adds when this card returns to the hand, you can add 1 level 2 or lower beast monster. So we're gonna add Melffy Fenny, why not? It was a special summon. Oh no. Yeah, we have to wait. So if they're still playing through that, like, this is already good, right? We've got some bounces, some negates, and we're holding back on more negates. But if it ended there, that's fine. If it kept going, there's still more. The thing that Melffy Rabbies can do is, I'm just assuming they go more, so, because the deck is reactive, right? So, like, it's hard to explain because you don't know how many realistic plays they're going to be doing. So you have to be adaptive with these chains. So let's say this did not stop them. I'm going to special summon the Rabby. Then, yeah, if your opponent special summons, I conduct a fusion summon using cards on the field and in the hand. So I'm going to use this and the Finny that I added back to my hand. Kalantosa's in the grave now. There's an important thing about Kalantosa being in the grave. Keep track of that. We're going to get the fusion in defense. Always try to keep your link zone free. Always with this combo. This is going to allow us to conduct another bounce by returning Melffy cards of our choice to our hand. So we could return the continuous spell and the Rabby, and just for shits and giggles, to show you how crazy it gets, I'll say we could return this, and we can return this. So we're gonna bounce that many cards. Let's just assume they had that, right? So that's an example of what the turn looks like, and then the kill is when it comes back, because you've just worn them out, you're fully loaded, we don't have to discard till the end of this turn. It's our turn, draw. So we have a special summon free from Valeraphon from the grave, which will activate the Kalantosa we sent earlier. If we need that pop. We're going to play Hide and Seek again. We're going to activate Hide and Seek. This is to bait out, again, defenses. 1. We're going to put the 2 Garnets back in the deck. Why? Because to activate Melffy Rabbies, we need to be able to add this from the deck to the hand. So we're going to put back 1. Sorry, you can only do 1. 1 each name. So a Rescue Rabbit. Oh no, that'll be a break if we do that. Finny and the Penny. Okay, 3 different names. Go back into the deck. And we draw 1. Nobleman. Cross out Designator. Alright, so yeah, basically we go for game here. I don't know where to begin, but it's very simple. I don't know where to begin, but it's simple. First, we're going to yeah, I mean, I'm already doing it. We're going to activate this by discarding one monster, then we can summon one. So we're going to discard that. That's going to summon out this. Now, one thing we could have done is, if I got to use this ability, which lowers its level and summons a beast, we wouldn't have had to do that. You see how I mean? It's confusing, right? Like, Kalantosa can summon this thing back, or if they had another monster to summon, I could have lowered this level, summoned Kalantosa from the grave, and got another pop. So we still would have had this board. Okay? I know, right? Anyways, the board has to be clear now, right? Or yeah, still. Then we're gonna overlay, because this is a level 2. We're gonna start attempting to go for game. We're gonna get Gigantic Sprite. Gigantic Sprite is big as hell. Because he's got a fusion attached to it, I'm going to detach to summon. It really doesn't matter who we summon. If we summoned this, we could see if we could trick them into summoning into our Melffy cards. Instead, we're just gonna get, I guess, another Melffy name. Why not? Then we're gonna link. We're free from Nib. We're gonna summon Sprend. Sprend can send from deck. And these sends from deck can help fuel your hide and seek if you're low on numbers and you just need to be able to add 3 different names back. So that's another thing that these two guys do. And we still haven't normal summoned. We don't have any sprite cards to special summon. But if we normal summon this monster, and then when Rabbies is normal summoned, add a Melffy monster from the deck to my hand. We're going to add the normal. Then if any number, then because of that, I can summon any number of beasts from my hand. So I can summon any of these. And yeah, we're going to use here, here, and here. Alright, so Gigantic Sprite's currently at 3,200, right? This is huge. If all we did at this point was overlay, and summon Ronin Raccoon, sorry, overlay, they're his material. Pitch one in order for him to summon his token. What's going to happen then? You've got 32, 64. He deals 14. So that's, wait, 32. Sorry, I'm bad at this. 64. Raccoon is 1,000. So that's 7,400. Sprite Sprint deals enough. So you could stop right there and they'd be dead. But suppose for some reason he was weakened, he'd only be 16. But then if you overlay these before making the token, if you overlaid these for Joyous Melffy, you have a 2k beater. Then if you clone that 2k beater by pitching the material for the token, Yes. You then have 3,000 between Sprite Sprint and Gigantic Sprite, 14 plus 1,600, 3,000. 2K from Joyous Melffy, 7,000. Sorry. 2K from Joyous Melffy, 5,000. Another 2K from the token, which copies Joyous Melffy, 7,000. Raccoon deals 1,000. That's 8,000. So yeah, even if you didn't have the fusion on there, you're still gonna get the win there. Now there's one more move I wanted to show you. That was the first combo I was trying to show you guys. And that's just kind of an example of, you know, again, that's if they had nothing, right? There's going to be some interruptions, but you can see the different breakpoints. And it's just understanding how these cards grind and how if they try to play reserved, you've got cards to kind of force them out. Like that Mystical Beast of the Forest. Surely, you know, they're going to start to read it and decide, no, I'm not going to summon. And that's good. Then you're just taking field presence. You know, and that's what you want to do. They're giving you better chance at that open shot. Now, let's say they're not giving you an open shot because somehow they have a monster that is in your way and just kind of just sitting there with stats that you can't climb and maybe it's in defense. That's why Mosquito is another good OTK option. He OTKs because you're going to have a full board. Okay, if you don't know this card, let me explain this. 2 level 2 plus monsters. Generic. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. All monsters your opponent controls must attack if able. When an attack is declared, you can activate one of these effects. Detach one material. Effect number 1. Detach one material, and if you do, place a counter on a face-up monster of your opponent's. Anyone that has a counter has their effects negated. Ability number 2, which does not say to detach a material. It says, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of one monster that has a counter on it. So, if they have a monster that's 2,000 attack, and, you know, you can think about that same board I had, but instead of Joyous Melffy, just go this guy or something, right? What he says is he's going to first attack, put a counter on it. Then when the other 4 monsters attack, because he's got a counter, they will burn for 2,000. And then, or burn for the attack of the monster, and then we die. If the monster's at 2k or more, we win. Because they will burn before the attack completes. So, if it was just 4 of these guys, right? Even though he's only 400 attack, he takes 2,000 before I take the difference, which is 1,600. Then he would take 2,000 again before I took that damage. And yeah, if I just had 4 other monsters, that would be game. So that's another OTK. That one's pretty easy to set up if your opponent isn't ready for it. Lots of monsters out there that just do nothing, like Bestial, or a Unicorn that's chosen the wrong target. Then you just go at them, right? Alright. Now again, I'm not saying this deck is meta, right? I'm saying some of these combos are cool. I really like this archetype. I'm going to show you another combo. This is the Melffy Shotgun, as I call it. There's a scenario that can and you must attempt to make occur if you want to do this. So you have to run 2 Calantosa for it to be a shotgun. You could argue that 1 Calantosa is enough with all of the bounce these days, but I think having access to the shotgun is still useful, just because we're side decking Harpy's Feather Duster. Alright, so there's a situation that occurs when you have 2 Kalantosas in your graveyard, and you have Joyous Melffys on the field. Joyous Melffy says, you can detach one material from this card. Your Melffy monsters can attack directly this turn. During your opponent's turn, you can quick effect, target one beast monster you control, return that monster to the extra deck, then I can special summon, target one beast XC monster, right? Return to the extra deck, then I can special summon level 2 or lower beast monsters from the graveyard up to the number of materials that the card had on it. So, if I wanted to revive these 2 on their turn and get a double pop, because Kalantosa isn't twice per turn, all I would need to do is have an XYZ monster that has 2 materials on it. That could be set up by Mosquito being summoned and not attacking, just ending. They must attack into him based on his ability. Oh no, he's not a beast, he's insect. You can't use him. Sorry, I lied. I'm doing it again. Alright, there's Melffy Mommy. Takes 2 plus level 2 or lower beasts. She also has the ability to add a 3rd from her hand. So, yeah, you can make her with 2 or 3 material and even get her, you know, pretty stuffed up there. There's another one. Oh yeah, you have a Melffy of the Forest, right? Or you have a Ronin Raccoon. And the Ronin Raccoon is most likely gonna use his ability. Sorry, I'm just explaining. These boards are easy to understand how they're built when you see the cards. So right now I'm setting up a scenario. This is not the way these cards play. I'm setting this up. You have to understand that the way you get into these situations isn't the thing. It's recognizing them and then seeing you have the play is what I'm trying to get at. So if Melffy Penny was in the grave, right? At the end of your turn, you're going to add 1. So I'm just saying that if they're Beast XYZs, remember that if your Joyous Melffy had 1, you'll get 2 back. You'll have your other material, right? Because you did the search. Then you'll get Penny back. Your shotgun will be loaded. And the thing about the shotgun is he's not going to be out here like this. I will show you the reality of how that play would look. The reality of how that monster would get out there is no more complicated than you had Melffy Caddy, you chain blocked it and forced it to resolve, which means you got to add Penny, who's a part of that combo, into your hand, which you're then going to sink or get in your grave, or Hoppier. So we're going to get Hoppier. In this case, it could have been Penny on their turn with our other Melffy monsters, because we should have plenty in our hand, right? You're going to use Hoppier. You're going to Synchro Summon for 4. And then you're going to bounce. You're going to get your 1 bounce. Then if they do anything after that bounce, you're going to add this back. Summon this out. And then if they attack again, quick effect, you can send this back to the safety of the extra deck. Its 2 materials go away. 2 Kalantosas come out. That causes a replay of the attack, but because they summoned, Chainlink 1 chain blocked by Chainlink 2. Right? So that's one scenario. Now let me show you another scenario. This one is the modified shotgun. Say there was a Melffy Rabbies in the grave, God forbid. Never let that happen. If you did that same shotgun play, and you put back the XYZ monster that had the 2 materials, you would then summon a Kalantosa and the Melffy Rabbies. And with the Melffy Rabbies, I would go replay attack, chainlink 1, Melffy Rabbies, chainlink 2, blocked by Kalantosa, Kalantosa pop, goodbye, Melffy Rabbie resolves. I can add a normal monster to my hand. And special summon any number of Melffys. You would special summon any number of Melffys. Right? That's one option. Another option is... Another option is that there's a Melffy Rabbies in your hand. You special summon out the Melffy Rabbie by doing its effect of, if your opponent special summons a monster, special summon this card, conduct a fusion summon. So, you know, as we know, you're going to conduct the fusion for the excited Melffys. Right? Then if that's going to be 1 bounce. And then you could potentially, as this is going on, do other things to get... Oh, I'll show you. We'll get to that. We're just going to finish. You do the bounce, you do its ability, which is, if they summon, you can target a beast in the grave, decrease its rank by 2, it comes out. That's it. That's the pop. Then, the other way, which is how you used to roll 2 of them, is you had 1 in your deck and 1 in the one in the hand. Basically what I was just saying is other ways you could play 2 Kalantosa without the Joyous Melffy combo is by using, I have them here, sorry, I just want to get them so it's visual for you. Pony and Finny. By using Pony, you can get 1 from the grave into your hand. By using Finny, if there's 1 in your hand, you can summon it. So now you have 2 ways to summon them out of the grave, 2 ways to summon them out of the hand, because Melffy Rabbie adds another way. So it's just more frequent pops with Kalantosa. Yeah, and that's it. I guess since we're here, I could show... No, I think that's good. For now, we'll get into the extra deck stuff later, but I mean, you know most of it. The other stuff is just kind of your choice of tech a little bit. I'm using Soul Sweeper. I recommend him for the grind game to help with banished cards. And we're also using Ice Jade instead of Satellite Warrior because banishment really hurts his deck and we want to protect from it. Alright, that's all I got for you. Yeah, I appreciate anyone who watched. I'm sorry about the first one where I messed up that ability, but that is how you play it. Pretty sick.